How many pre-releases are you planning on playing this weekend, Travis?
0.
That sucks.
Yeah, well, I forgot it was this weekend, so I forgot to ask for the time off, and looked at the schedule and everything. There's like 2 or 3 other people that can do my job,
Right?
and the one he has it off for his birthday, and then the other two, they're going to Minnesota for the football game. So I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm not doing that this week.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, well, it's what it is.
Yeah, I
It's
mean
all
it
right though.
happens.
Like I haven't really been feeling this set at all. Like there's some cards in it that I want to play with, but
It's
I
weird
just
because I think that this is like a very exciting set.
eh, I don't know. Maybe it's just you know, like the subtitle says, it's just kind of in a slump right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
What's going on with your
Anyway,
screen?
what? I'm
What's
adjusting
going?
things so I can see
Oh,
things.
okay.
I'm like trying to get the chat up, try to send out the Twitter that I forgot. Do all the things that I never did do today.
Okay.
So hello and welcome to this week's episode of Two Trolls and a Brew. I'm Sam, he's Travis. Episode 113, Troll Smash, subtitle Slump. So yeah, I don't know. The arena's got a midnight, a Saturday, and a Sunday pre-release. So I
Mhm.
usually don't play the midnight ones. I usually just run them, and then I usually feel like I can run and play Saturday and Sunday without too much of a problem. But we'll see what happens. Turnout's been kind of weird. For specifically the midnight pre-release one. So we'll see if participation is low, turnout's low. I'll probably play Friday as well. But anything over 16 players at midnight, it's usually too much work to try to play and judge. Where
Yeah.
if on the weekends during the day, like there's usually somebody else there to help run the computer stuff. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll be okay. Hopefully it'll be all right.
Well, and after I kind of started talking about it with everybody else here in the past year and a half, 2 years. Um, After I started saying stuff about it, the midnight pre-releases here have just kind of died because everybody realizes, hey, there's going to be like 4 more pre-releases in the next 2 days, and having 50 people doing 3 rounds and then everybody going home without anything else, like so you basically have to go 3-0 and hope that no one else is 3-0,
Right.
and then you might get first.
I mean, I don't know. I really like the way that we're doing it right now. Obviously, I wouldn't keep doing it that way if I didn't like it. But we the midnight one, we lock in at 4 rounds, and every round you win, you get a pack, and then 4-0s and 3-1s have additional prizes.
Yeah.
And the everyone who wins around the win around packs are always because you only get a very limited number, or at least we only get a very limited number of the pre-release packs to give away for prize support. So the winner rounds packs are always the new set, and then the 3-1 and 4-0 guys, they get imprint standard stuff. So if they're smart right now, they'd probably be grabbing a bunch of the unstable.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. But I like doing it that way. This way, if you're losing, but you're kind of having fun, but you're like, maybe I'll just go home. You can still like win your last round. Usually we have nobody that goes home without a single pack.
Right.
Because the shop also keeps packs that tie because of time or whatever. and then I give away those extra
Yeah.
packs to the. It's like the one person who gets no wins. I'm usually like, here's your last play, or your booby prize or whatever. So then even the person who got no packs comes away with something, generally. So I don't know. It's always fun, the pre-releases. I think that's a really exciting time, but I don't know. After spending the last week and a half sick, and now the last couple of days with the migraine stuff going on, I just kind of like, I don't know. We'll see. Let's get into the show. Looks like I'm the only one that's got a troll card this week. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. So this week's theme is anger issues, I think. At least it is for me. And we'll see if we can't stir a little bit of that anger up in Travis. So I picked C Red out of the Rivals set here. It's a 2-mana enchantment aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and first strike. But at the beginning of your end step, if you did not attack with a creature this turn, sacrifice C Red. It's a really powerful enchantment that a lot of times you would see somebody. The side effect of it would be have to attack each turn if able, so you could use it defensively. In this situation, there's no chance to use it defensively unless the creature has a vigilance. So I think it's got a pretty cool design. And I think the artwork looks pretty sweet too, actually. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I don't know. I saw that card. I'm like, that's how I feel. That's what's going on when I think of Magic right now. This week.
Yeah.
I have a story. I actually successfully lost my temper at Friday Night Magic. To the point where I was just you know what? You win. I'm going home. Have a good time. This was the last round. And it was totally unjustified. Completely 100% unjustified. But people who don't know me very well, when I'm sick, when I'm very sick, I have a very short fuse. And in general, that I work really, really hard to lengthen. And double or triply so when I'm at the arena, being the community guy. Things make me really mad, but I push that shit to the side. But last week at Friday Night Magic, I felt like crap. I couldn't concentrate. It was loud. I was done. I was over it. So it was the last round. Basically, there was maybe the winner of our match takes third place and gets a pack. Maybe. So, there's no stakes or anything. It's not like we were playing for first or second and a bunch of packs. It was a pure 8-man draft. So, at most, people are taking home, first and second are probably taking 5 packs and 4 packs home.
Right.
Or 5 packs and 3 packs or whatever. So it wasn't a big deal. I'm sitting out playing with a guy, Sean, who's been on the show. And he does this thing sometimes where he does this thing where he legitimately has a judge question, right? But instead of letting me resolve the question or look it up or whatever, especially when it's against me, I'm like, yeah, you know what? Let's look it up. I think I'm right, but I could be wrong. Let me look it up. So I pull out my phone. I'm starting to look it up. And he will instead ask another individual who always agrees with him. Doesn't matter if they're right or they're wrong once I look it up and I pull out the answer. It doesn't matter. But he always goes to this individual if they're there because they, no matter what, basically argue in his favor and not mine. And it just so I was upset. And then, of course, the guy's so basically, let me just throw down the answer, and maybe you know. So Sean attacks with this 2/2 creature, not Thalia, whatever the red knight is. Attacks with the 2/2 knight. It gets +1/+1 till end of turn when it attacks, right? It attacks
if you have
into me.
another dinosaur.
If you have a dinosaur or something, right? I don't know. I think it's a human. Anyway, so he attacks me with this 3/3. I'm at 13 life. I have, I think, 5 points of flying damage, and he's at 6. And in my board is like a haste. If it's a dinosaur, I've got like 2 more big dinosaurs in my hand. I'm planning on attacking and winning next turn. Yeah, that thing, I think.
Okay.
So he attacks, and I took the turn off, right? Because he's been attacking every turn. And I have the 5 mana white instant that kills attacking creature, and I draw a card.
Okay.
So,
all right, now I understand you're playing draft.
Right, we were drafting. Sorry, we were drafting. So he attacks. His creature gets pumped. I don't block. And I go, do you have any effects before damage? And he says no. And I say, okay, so 3 damage then. He goes, yeah. So I write down 3 damage. And he goes, second main phase, I cast this. And I'm like, I'm like, sure, you can cast it if you want to, but I'm gonna kill your guy. Right? Because that was my whole plan, is that I wanted to make sure that I didn't get a better dinosaur to haste to attack and kill him next turn.
Okay.
Right? So I intentionally took the turn off to do that. And he goes, it's too late. You can't do that. We're out of combat. I say, well, it doesn't matter. A creature is attacking till once declared attacking, it attacks the whole turn. So it doesn't matter if it's in combat or not. But if it does matter, let's, I'm do this in combat. He's like, no, you can't do that. It's too late. And he goes, hey, Chris, is a creature attacking the whole turn? And Chris, of course, is like, no, they changed that like 11 years ago or something. And I've been playing Magic basically since beta, so I got a bunch of rules jumbled up in my head. I could totally be wrong. Let me look it up. Now, so I pull out my phone, I start looking it up, and both of them jump on me about how I'm just wrong. I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter. This is a level. I put my phone. I'm like, it doesn't matter. This is a Friday Night Magic. You just skipped out of your combat step without letting me respond.
Right.
I want to kill your guy. So I'm like, I'm going to kill your guy in combat then. And I put my card in the graveyard, and I take the top card of my library, and I set it down in front of my thing, in front of my hand. And he goes, no, you can't do that. I'm like, dude, it's a level 0 thing. I want to kill your guy. It's why I didn't play a creature last turn. It's because I wanted to kill whatever creature you attacked with, because I'm planning on attacking and killing you next turn.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, well, I want to make sure that we're playing correctly. And I was just like, as soon as he said that, I was like, you know what? You win. You want to win the Magic tournament? This match of Magic, it's yours. I just like, here you go. And I filled out the sheet, and I gave it to him to go turn into the scorekeeper. And here you go. If you want to win that badly, go ahead. I don't care. And I start to put my stuff away. He's like, dude, I didn't want you to get mad. I'm like, yes, you didn't let me answer. You had got 2 for 1 to me on a question, and I'm the judge. Like, I was looking up the answer to the legitimate question. If I was wrong, I would have dealt with it. But you basically went, I wrote down 3 damage, and he went second main phase, boom. And I'm like, well, hang on. I want to do something. He's like, well, why would you even wait? I'm like, I want to make sure that if there's a combat spell or a pump spell, that I get it in response. Because last game, you were going on about how you were going to do 18 points of damage to me in 1 turn from pump spells in your hand. It's like, well, I guess that makes sense. I'm like, yes, there was a reason why I wanted to make sure that I killed your thing. And then I'm going to attack you with these flying creatures and kill you. He's like, and you basically just irritated me out of the game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just as soon as he like called in the other guy and wouldn't let me like look up the answer, I just lost it. I was done. Like, I should have stayed home. I was sick. I knew I was sick. I just should have, like, I don't know what. But like, neither one of us were in the like. You basically nickeled and dimed me at a PPTQ out of this tournament at a Friday Night Magic for no reason.
Right.
And I just lost my shit. I was done. Like I literally saw red. I was ready to like. I didn't have the energy to pick up a chair, but I wanted to like smash. Get violent. I'm glad I didn't have the energy to do so. Which I never would if I was feeling fine. Like even the worst migraine, I don't get violent because I'm upset. But when I don't feel well, I just lose it all. So I don't know how should I, and you guys too, feel free to shit on me as well. But again, keep in mind that you're not feeling well, and like you've literally been sick for, this is day 9, I think. I didn't finally start feeling better until Monday, to tell you how long I've been sick. So
Yeah. Well, because I remember we recorded last week. I'm like, dude, you feeling all right? And you're like, oh, just a little bit, a couple days sick. And, here you are, still sick.
well, I mean, I'm not, I have a migraine. I'm still recovering. Like, I'm really tired still, but man, I was on the verge of completely losing it Friday. This good thing was the last round because I was done. I was totally done at that point. There's zero chance that I was going to be able to hold my shit together.
Right.
So I don't know how should I have done that better?
Well, so personally, I think the thing is, it's not that, I don't know. I kind of feel like if you already wrote down the damage, then that's where he was like, well, it's not attacking anymore. He just attacked. Like I can kind of see where he would go from with that, but at the same time, if he asks a judge question and he gets someone who's not a judge involved, then WTF, mate.
Sure. So, and again,
I lose my cool all the time. Like I lose my cool when it comes to certain people and their stupidity, but I don't think what you did was wrong because if someone's going to be a prick, then be a prick back.
So I mean, from my point of view, I wrote down the damage, but I was not, in my mind, I was not necessarily ready to leave combat. Like I wanted that creature dead, right? Like I was going to kill that thing as soon as I knew that he was not going to pump it up for like 1,000,000. Right? Had he's like, okay, I'm gonna pump it up +3/+3, I would have killed it in response. So taking the damage is not the end of the combat step. Right? There's an after leaving combat, right?
Right, but I still think
so in my mind
with the attack.
Oh, what you think one okay. So this is something that I don't necessarily know if I'm correct on anymore. And I got pissed off and I stopped looking it up. Right? So it used to be when you declared a creature as attacking, it was basically attacking from that point on till the end of the turn. It did not stop attacking until cleanup. Right? Now, the gentleman that Chris that answered this guy's question, because I mean the judge was sitting right there with his phone and his had already gotten to 500 in the whir on for combat, but we couldn't wait 5 more seconds for him to finish reading to where he needed to read to. Basically, oh no, they changed that like a long time ago. It hasn't been that way in years, which is fine. That didn't bother me. What bothered me is when he said, second main phase, I'm doing this. And I went, wait, I want to do this first.
Yeah.
And then his argument was, it's too late, you can't do that. And my response was, well, okay, it doesn't matter because this still goes on until end of turn. So I'm going to kill your guy.
Right.
So because I said that is what the argument became about. And by argument, I literally mean like 25 seconds of them telling me I was wrong and me saying, I'm done. Right? So
yeah,
the point, or my point was, or should have been, and again, if I had a clearer mind, I would have went, it doesn't matter. I backed you up till the end of your attack step. I was not done with you to go to, I was not ready for you to go to your second main phase.
Right. It's kind of like when people are like, instep, and you're like, before that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, same thing.
I was not
Or when
ready for
people
him
draw their, or like when people just untap, upkeep, then draw, and you're like, I have actions during your upkeep.
Right. So that is where I feel like I made my mistake. Like, to me, looking back at it, I should have instead. I never should have said anything about. Well, it doesn't matter because the creature just attacks. Because the only attack, it doesn't matter which creature he attacked with. I was going to turn that 5 mana into a draw spell.
Right.
Right. So, like, in my mind, it didn't. Assuming he attacked and he had been attacking, that was the plan. So I don't know. I was just like, the fact that that's the argument that they went down irritated me. Not letting me look up the answer irritated me. And most importantly, me not being like, it doesn't matter. I'm stopping you here.
Yeah.
Again, at a level 0 Friday Night Magic, where there is not first and second, maybe third. I don't even think he took third. I think somebody else took third. I don't know for sure. I left. I was pissed, and I was going to get more pissed.
Yeah.
So I just, I don't know. Irritated. But you don't think I did anything overly
fatigue.
Like, the worst thing I did was not figuring out my argument and sticking with it.
Right. I mean, I don't think. No, I don't think you're wrong, because even in, competitive RELs, you have the ability to say, hold on, before you go to your next step. Because that's what the main attraction of Magic is for me. There's step-by-step rules, there's priority.
Right.
Next step, you have to be like, I'm moving to second phase.
Yeah,
and
that
if you're
that line where it's like, all right, now I'm here, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Like, that boom boom together is one line, like one breath, irritates me sometimes a ton. So I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him on Friday and just be like, hey man, this is like, and the thing that really irritates me also after the fact is he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't want to make you mad. Well, that's fine. I appreciate that. I didn't want to make you mad either, but I'm mad. So you're not, let me be mad. And then after the fact, when I've calmed down and I'm feeling better, be like, hey, I shouldn't have gotten mad. And I did, and I'm sorry. But blah, 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 blah. I want to make sure that going forward that this kind of stuff, because it happens probably twice a month. No, not twice a month. Once every 2 months. That's what I was trying to say. It seems like some sort of interaction with this guy, because the same thing happens.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that in the future, it's like, okay, look, I don't have, if you have a question about me in particular, I'm happy to look it up. Right? But let me look it up. When I'm pulling out the phone, I have the complete rules right here, and I'm looking through it. Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Because again, back when I started playing, a creature flagged attacking was attacking. I remember getting screwed one time at a tournament. A guy attacked with like a first strike creature, and I took the damage. Right? Combat was over, and the guy untapped his creature with a Maze of Ith, and it was on D. Because his first striking creature would kill my creature.
Right.
Because it would, after the damage was done, the creature untapped and left combat.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, that sucks balls. So like that kind of stuff sticks in my brain. So that when a rules question comes up that could be in, 10 years old or whatever, I'm like, no, this is how it works. And when someone's like, I don't think it works that way anymore, I'm like, well, let's look it up. And then we both learn. So if I am wrong, then then I'll probably remember that in the future. As
Right.
opposed to now, I'm just going to remember being pissed off. And again, I didn't even bother to take the time to look it up. Now, after the fact, I probably should. I should know what the answer is going forward. I'm sure that they're correct, that they've changed something where a creature is no longer attacking, marked as attacking for the whole turn. It now ends at the end of combat. But
Right.
I didn't take the time to look at it. Now, Magic's rules have been revised infinite number of times.
Yeah.
It seems like. So, and when you took a bunch of drugs and your brain is toast for migraines, it's going to sometimes...
Legal drugs, kids.
Legal drugs, that's correct. Drugs prescribed by a doctor for migraine pain. So, anyway... I didn't strangle him or hide his body in a shallow grave anywhere. So I feel like I couldn't have been that wrong.
I mean, that's a step up from last time.
I mean, it's true. I didn't try to cut that guy's finger off or anything. So it's fine. While we're talking about stuff that makes us mad, I woke up, I think it was Monday. Maybe it was Monday. I don't remember for sure. To some angry text messages from you.
Were they angry?
I got the impression that they were angry.
Yeah, it did kind of just...
I felt like the word pissed was involved and bullshit.
Yeah. No. I'm still irritated by it. Because, like, so the whole spoiler got... obviously the whole set got spoiled.
Which felt early to me. It's right on time, but it feels early.
Right. Well, that's because nothing got leaked. Like, they actually kept a lid on the whole thing, so nothing got leaked, like a month in advance, so they didn't have to slow leak it or slow reveal or whatever. Anyways, the thing that irritates me is we're in Ixalan, and we go into Rivals of Ixalan, same block. But they reprinted 4 of the same creatures that were in Ixalan, and that just kind of, I don't know, just grinds my gears. It's kind of, it's just lazy to me. And they didn't do it like 1 per color. Like, I feel that would have been more balanced. Instead, they're just like, 2 white creatures get reprinted, this blue guy and this green guy. And just, I don't know, it perturbs me.
So
all they did to change it was change the set symbol.
Hang on, I'm pulling up MTG stocks real quick too. So what Travis is talking about is Legion Conquistador got reprinted, Sailor of Means, Raptor Companion, and Colossal Dreadmaw.
Yep.
So, let's see. Let me pull this up. In my mind, Legion Conquistador makes 100% sense. What was that card? Was it Stormhawk? No. Legion Hawk?
The one that lets you search for the other Squadron Hawk.
Squadron Hawk. Was it a first block? Wow, that's nowhere near what I was looking for.
What were you? SQUA.
There we go. I for whatever reason, I could not put things in the right order. Okay, so was it a first block or a second block printing?
I don't know. I can't remember.
It looks like it was only in Magic 11 and Eternal Masters. So it was not in a, in a 3-block set or whatever.
Right.
But I feel like specifically card like Legion Conquistador is like Squadron Hawk in the sense that it doesn't work. It barely works now. Right? Like if you're lucky, you'll get your first Legion Conquistador and maybe you'll get a second or sometimes a third and you're like, woo!
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For a common.
Well, see, and basically every time that I've drafted and every time that I've played sealed, I think every time that I've drafted, nobody has ever gotten more than one because everybody sees it. And if they're already stable in something, they're just kind of like, all right, I'll take this because I know someone's in black white.
Sure.
So like everybody just shuts it down. And then even in sealed, I think I only saw two in one deck, one time. And I played in two different Ixalan sealed leagues, plus two pre-releases. So it's like out of four sealed game, like out of four sealed, tournaments, I only saw one person run two of them.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I have drafted I think 3 of them, but that was one time.
Yeah.
Last week a guy drafted 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do feel like they're probably like out of 24 packs, having maybe 4 of them at the table tops. It feels weird. So all of a sudden, if you were to go down to 8 packs for Legion Conquistador, that card might as well not exist.
It already doesn't in my mind. Like
I
it's
mean,
the only common that you hate draft, so that way nobody else has it. Like that doesn't mean it's good enough for a reprint in the same
no,
block.
but if you want that to be something that could happen, like a card that makes sense, you have to print it that way, or you have to um make it where you can go get this or this. You know what I mean?
See, if it was a go get this or this, then yeah, I wouldn't mind having multiples, but it's straight up go get this.
Yeah,
Okay.
that makes sense to me. Again, because the time that they've done this before, it's been 3. It's 3 packs every time, so that makes a lot of sense to me. Legion Conquistador, Sailor of Means, kind of makes sense in the sense that they want that 3 mana blue creature to not be like over the top great. Still makes the treasure. Enables a lot of the decks that they want people to be able to play. That would make sense, but the Raptor Companion and the Colossal Dreadmaw just don't make sense.
See, like I've only played with the companion and the Dreadmaw. Like those are the only two out of all four of those that I have drafted with the intent of playing. And the only reason I drafted the companion was because I was already in red white and it was pack 3. I'm like, yeah, well, I guess I'll just take this. And then the Dreadmaw, it was just kind of like, all right, well, I'm in green and I don't want a 1/1. So I'll take the 6/6. Like to me, it just seems like okay, so I can kind of understand where you're coming with the Conquistador, but with the other three, it just seems lazy to me.
So I would agree with you on the Raptor Companion and the Dreadmaw. Like both of those I have played. And I mean, I played all 4 of these cards. I've taken them all. I played them all. Some of them are great. Some of them are terrible. Raptor Companion / Colossal Dreadmaw, depending on what the board state is, they're both either great or terrible, right? But there's not. If you're in the Sailor Means deck or the 5-color blue deck or whatever you want to call it, like you have to have those Sailor Means to be able to figure out if they work. Like it is a vital part of that strategy, which doesn't mean that you have to keep a strategy around. But if they
Yeah.
want to keep that strategy in the format, they have to have some sort of drop that does that. Could they made a blue 2-drop that made a treasure? Probably. And it probably could have been okay, but then they're like, well, why do we print the red one that does that?
Well, I mean, there's the black one that does it when it dies.
Yeah, but again,
Like
that
the die.
doesn't quite that's not how the blue like 5-colorish deck is supposed to work. Like you're supposed to take things like Sailors of Means and what is it that blinks the pirate?
Siren's Ruse.
Siren's Ruse. Like you take those things really highly, and then you cast like I don't know, like the big red dinosaur or whatever. Because you had all this treasure and you like, are paying off your booty to make something awesome happen. Like to me, those are strategies that I think that they felt like they wanted to keep around, so that the reprints made sense. Rapture Companion and Colossal Dreadmaw, like these are just generic. They're basically vanilla 3 1s and 6/6 tramples. I'm not even sure the Dreadmaw has trample.
It does.
Okay, but like they could have made functional reprints, and maybe that was part of it too. They didn't want to make. Maybe the file was Rapture Companion functional reprint, and then when it got to the end, they're just like, instead of making new art and filling in just like another dinosaur 3-1, let's just reprint it. I don't know what their decision making process is. For those two, I do agree with you. It does feel lazy. The first two, I think, specifically the Conquistador, I think it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, I mean, that is kind of what like triggered my whole. I don't know. I didn't even go to draft this past Monday because I was just kind of like, I don't know. Like I said, in a slump. So I didn't. I had the day off. I just didn't want to do anything.
That's fair.
Like,
I mean, I've had those days.
If it'll that, um, it was a cons draft, and I just didn't bother going.
Oh man, cons draft would have been sweet.
Yeah, cons is my favorite thing to draft, and I was just like, no, I just don't want to do it right now. So I don't know if that triggered me like being irritated with Magic or a bunch of the other drama that's been going on, but oh, maybe it's the fact that, I'm just kind of tired of seeing the same 8 decks between 2 formats.
I mean, that's a possibility too. I don't know. Everything adds up in my experience, right? You're not feeling well, or it's not the right day, or it's not the block that you wanted to draft, or like you got the really good rare in another deck that you don't really think is good, but it's a great rare. So you move in, and the next thing you know, it's like, man, I totally did not get in the right deck. So I don't know. In my opinion, things kind of add up. I'm not super excited for a draft on Friday, but it's modern or draft, so I guess that means I'm drafting.
Speaking of modern, I have a deck that I want to brew.
Okay, you want to do that now? We can do that now.
I mean, yeah, did you have anything else?
Yeah, actually, I had a couple of little things here.
Okay.
So one of the cards that we talked about last episode was this Famished Paladin. I remember saying that I thought it was good. I just wasn't real sure where.
Right.
Well, it turns out it's good in modern. So there is a Kithkin cleric from Shadowmoor called Resplendent Mentor. Have you seen this combo yet? Probably not, because you're not on Facebook.
That's true. I'm not.
So this is a 5-mana 2/2. White creatures you control have tap, gain a life. So of course, Famished Paladin, whenever you gain life, untap him. So this now makes it 2-mana infinite life combo, assuming that someone doesn't have an instant speed way to kill a Famished Paladin. So because of that, this Shadowmoor uncommon, I think it's had like a 200% increase in price, and it is now an average of almost $4. Which I thought was pretty funny, that people are going to try to make this work. It could be great. It could be amazing. I'm not sure. I have the feeling it's not. I have the feeling it's not very good.
I just like the fact that there's a 200% spike, and it's still not even $5.
Yeah, it was not very hard to start. It was like 20 cents before, and then the spoiler came out, and now it's $4. $9 in foil.
Ooh, okay.
Right. So I don't know. I saw that and people are like, "Whoa, get them now while they're hot." And I was just like, "Really? Really? Okay."
Or how about a different thing? No.
Like I like 2-card combos too. I like them more when you could collected company into both halves.
Right.
So, whatever, that's just me. Yeah, and then I have like a little almost a game thing that we can. I mean, it's not really a game. I just went through each of the colors and color combination from the new spoils. I basically read through the spoiler and picked out some things that I thought were kind of cool. So, yeah, we can talk about your deck first, though.
Okay. So it kind of first dawned on me that I wanted to do it when I first saw the card, but I forgot the name. Hold on one moment. It's from Ixalan. Uh, the 1 mana 3/3 that
Oh, the
when it
green
enters the
one.
battlefield, yeah.
Okay.
So when it enters, each opponent may search their library for a basic land and put it into play tapped, and then
Is this
shuffle their
using?
library.
Is this using Zuza the Punisher or whatever? Like a red
Who?
goblin from
Oh, Zozu.
Zozu.
Uh, no. That's pretty funny too. Um, so when I first saw this card, I just thought to myself, you know what would be great with that? Archive trap.
Oh, make them go search their deck and then blow it up. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to like do a blue green mill and then just have a bunch of I don't know, answers or removal or something for green and blue. That way I can just be like, all right, well, you got to deal with the 3/3 and then just, keep attacking them or something. But then it like dawned on me that I could do landfall with the Hedron crab.
Okay.
So I kind of want to like force them to either figure out if they're going to die to mill or if they're going to die to damage. So I was thinking, um, obviously blue green ramp slat that would ramp into either mill or killing them, but have primeval titans and like mist cutter hydra or something.
I'm thinking. So the first cards that kind of come to my mind when you said this was maybe it is actually Azusa Lost but Seeking, and then the 5/5 or the new one
Whoa, hold
out of
on, hold on a
Rivals.
minute.
Did I actually get a card name correct? Is that what you're looking at?
No, god damn it.
Uh-oh. I thought the Beavers did all that.
Yeah, my phone just powered off.
Oh, that's sweet. All right, so what's that? I'm trying to find the new 5/5 to let you play extra lands. I thought it cost 3 mana too. Didn't it cost 3 mana? It costs more than that. Where are you? Travis is trying to get in. So I'm going to find the name of this card real quick while we're waiting for Travis to come back. Wayward Sawtooth, right? You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Wayward Sawtooth can't attack or block unless you have the city's blessing. And of course, it's a 5/5 for 3. So, again, we'll just. And I'll fill some air while we wait for Travis to get back into the call. Azusa and that would be 3 drops that you could potentially cord for. And then or not cord, but cord probably fine too. But collected company. And then are there more creatures that exile when they enter the battlefield? Yeah, I want to put mill into the search, but I know that won't work. or put a land into play. What else? Is there a 2-drop that puts lands into play? No, not that I can think of. Oh yeah, there is. Tri-Builder. So you got like the Hedron Clab, the Tri-Builder, Azusa, the 5/5, and now all of a sudden you're like this weird creature based search your deck, search their deck. That one, the 3/3. Seems good. All right, I've got a bunch of answers. I'm gonna wait patiently for Travis, and then I'll just be quiet and mute. This way, I know where to cut for the podcast. All right, are you back?
Yeah.
Okay, so I had some thoughts that I kind of sketched. First of all, welcome back, everybody. I kind of took your
All right,
concept here
so
and I went into a direction.
just so everybody knows, my phone apparently decided it did not want to charge while it was on the charger, so it died.
I mean, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
All right, so just throwing out some quick cards here.
Okay.
So Hedron Crab, right?
Yes.
Old Growth Dryads,
Yes.
Azusa Lost But Seeking,
So she's the
Wayward.
green legend, right?
She's the green legend that lets you play 2 extra lands.
Okay.
Okay. Wayward Sawtooth is the 5/5 that lets you play 1 extra one, but it can't attack or block until you are king of the city or something.
Oh, until you ascended?
Yeah, until you ascended. And then Archive
Okay.
Traps. So now, the reason I was thinking all this stuff was so you could Collected Company. The problem is if you Collected Company into 2 Azuzas,
Right. I can just choose one.
Right. But like that seems good. Like that plus a lot of lands.
Yeah.
To kind of get you going. And then is there something that like lets your permanents tap to mill a card, preferably a creature?
Yeah, Heartstring Kodo, I think it is. Like a 6-mana artifact from Champions. I think that's what it's called.
Heart. Let me. I'm looking here. Heart. Think string.
Yeah.
Okay, so just have everything with heart in it. Up on the gather here. Oh, too many words. But my thinking was if you could just like power through the landfall, you could do some real work. And then you could also run like the landfall enchantments and or
Yeah.
creature to just like either generate a ton of life or a bunch of like saplings or 1/1 counters or untap your guys a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Um
There is Phanex, but that requires a creature to be in play for a minute. Phanex, he's the blue black god that
okay.
your creatures tap and mill for their toughness.
Right. I mean, you've got a bunch of big butt things, including a 5/5 for 3 that can't attack.
Right.
And then, like I said, with Secure Tribe Elder, like you could be able to easily splash black off of this, no problem.
Yeah.
Like 1 swamp and then some appropriate fetch lands because of the tribe elders
Right.
and stuff. Because your Collected Companies just get better and better because you're just constantly demolishing. You just play all your lands.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, see,
it could be okay.
like
I'm still trying to find this enchantment or artifact.
Oh, it's an artifact. Maybe there was a hyphen in the word in heartstring. I don't know. But I was also thinking of Nissa Vital Force because the turn after she comes in, you can ult her, and then you play a land, mill them 3, draw a card. Play a land, draw a mill, or whatever. Because so it'd be really risky, decking yourself out. But
Okay, I found what you're talking about. It's called a hair strung koto.
oh, well, see,
And it taps an untapped creature.
yeah, see, I was close.
You were
Heart,
very
hair.
close.
What's the difference?
A lot of those words were in there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. So what about, in addition to your like mill strategy, right? What
I play
about
Galta. Yeah, I was thinking that.
Galta? I don't know which one Galta is.
The
I
the
was
green elder dragon dinosaur.
the new one. Oh,
Yeah,
no, not that. Um, the various living land spells. I can only think of the one from Mirrodin. Um, with
are you talking about
Entwine.
the awaken spells?
No. I'm thinking like make all your dudes into tutus. I'm looking. I will get the name. Rude Awakening. So for 5 mana, you get to choose one, untap all your lands, or until end of turns, all your lands become 2/2 creatures that are still land, and you can entwine it.
That's the entwine, right?
Yeah. So like maybe
Yeah.
like 2 Rude Awakenings. I don't know. This like especially if you also put the Phoenix in, so then all of your lands suddenly become 2/2s also. So you can either
All right. So during your end step, mill your whole deck, or is that
well,
a sorcery?
it is a sorcery. But I think there are
Okay,
more
then I guess that.
awakening. I think there are more awakening spell things. Let me just let me grab the text and then we'll hit the gather for something like this again because I feel like there's a cheaper way to do this.
Well, and then there's an enchantment that says all of your creatures with no abilities get +2/+2 or something like that. Or maybe it's all of your land creatures get +2/+2.
Well, that's the 2/3 when you contain two when you have 6 lands, all your lands get +2/+2. Sylvan Advocate.
Right, but there's an enchantment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there is. So I don't know, like it could be a fun strategy. Because Archive
Just
Track costs
ramp and
0,
people are
right?
like, "Oh, you're playing Scape Shift," and I'm like, no, I'm attacking you with lands.
Right. Exactly. And or
Just
milling
fog
you.
them out. Yeah, and or milling you. Who knows?
Watch this. And this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Uh say 7 slots right now. So you put in like what, 2 Phoenix, 2 Azuzas. Um so you still have at least 2 more slots that you can do stuff with. And if you're gonna
Yeah.
run black anyway, why not include the Black Mill Planeswalker and or Sight Unseen, right? Mill 10. What is that spell called?
There's Glimpse the Unthinkable.
That's what I'm thinking of. Glimpse the Unthinkable. Sorry. That's like see the unseen or whatever.
Yeah, there's definitely some of the same letters in there.
The same notion. The notion, Travis. But I don't know. I was actually trying to figure out if there was a creature that taps to mill. Like there definitely is, right? But like
Yeah,
you can also play the blue landfall enchantment to untap a creature to mill as well.
right.
Which would also still be really good with Phoenix. Obviously, when all your creatures can do that. You could also run like numerous of the Kioras that untap a creature and a land. so that could be really strong. Like I think you have a lot of options. If your core idea is the old growth druids, the archive trap, the wayward storetooth / Azusa plus Hedron crab. And like I said, the
Right.
nice thing about it is that all gets hit by collected company.
Yeah.
Currently.
I'll see what's at my local gaming store on Thursday when I go play standard.
Okay. Yeah, it's
Or when I just
creating an
go.
idea, but again, this has the same problem that I have with modern in general. There's just too many cards for me. I'm old and my
Well,
brain is melty.
so there was this thing on Twitter, and someone was like, they were complaining about the amount of variance in modern. And I'm just like, but that's the thing that I like about it. Because there's so much that you can do. Whereas in standard, you're essentially tournaments, you have 3 decks to choose from right now. Um, in modern, there's viable options where every single deck is different than the other. I mean, 30 might be a big number, but
Like
um,
I get that sentiment,
because I think
but
I
I
think
think that particularly modern, it gets people move into their deck and then they stay there.
yeah,
Not everyone's like you that has like, oh, this week I'm gonna build this completely different modern deck.
right. And the thing is, it's like even though you have obviously I think there's 8 different tier 1 decks in modern right now. Still have you know they're considered rogue decks even though they're basically just tier 2 or tier 3, but they still sneak in and they top aided. Uh, I think this last week there's a SCG Columbus that was a modern, and this dude, I think he got top 15 in devotion deck. He was splashing red for Rorik Thar, and that was it.
Hmm.
So it's like, okay.
See, like I
And
would have to do something where for me to be able to do the things that I like to do in modern is I would have to basically probably manually enter every single card into some sort of database, right? And I would have to do it so I could flag the cards in different ways. Like, yes, this is a creature. Yes, it mills. Yes, it has flash. Yes, you know what I mean? Like, the kind of categories that I need to mentally wrap my brain around
yeah,
things. And then this way I could be like, okay, give me every card that kind of makes this happen. All right, well, here's your 500 cards that do that. All right, so let's start weeding out the ones that don't fit, more deeply into the theme that we want.
right. Well, see, that's why I like MTG Familiar. It's an app, right? And you can just go in there, and where it says text, you just type in a broad, like, uh, target player puts top card of library into graveyard, right? And then you select which format that you're going to put it in, and it'll come up with every single card. Those words in the text box that's in modern, and it's
See, so the Gatherer does the same thing, but you have
yeah,
to
but the Gather is so much more faulty than Familiar.
sure.
It really is.
I don't know. I feel for me, I need something more than that, right? Like I need it to be my kind of categories to try to get things going, because like I still have problems even in Frontier, where I've played every single, I played all these formats as they came out in Standard, so I have a
Yeah.
rough idea of these cards. But even still, I can't keep track of every card in Modern or in Frontier, let alone Modern.
Right.
Right? That's just way too much. So I don't know. I can't even keep track of all the cards in Standard half the time. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too old to be a brewer like this. Or I've taken too many migraine drugs, legal migraine drugs.
You just need to start getting on that illegal stuff, man. I mean, sure, you might get arrested because it's blah 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 against big farm, but um, at least you won't be killing your brain cells.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's a mushroom I might start eating. Actually, that's a legal mushroom that should help regrow brain cells. But it's like kind of expensive to get started unless you grow it yourself. And the last time I tried to grow some mushrooms, it didn't go over so well.
So I actually had to throw away a bunch of mushrooms at work today.
That's sad.
Yeah, but I really shouldn't have had to do it because, the people should know better. But there they were, black and moldy mushrooms. I'm like, cool, you guys. Way to go ahead and think about this.
That's just them making more mushrooms for the future.
No, like it smelled like fish.
I
It
don't
was not
know.
good.
I don't have a smeller. So let's look at these few cards that I have selected here. After we do the quick into the show stuff. So samusgrobo.com to listen, download whatever the show, get the show notes, see the troll hottie of the week, etc. You can send us an email, the number 2 trollsbrew@gmail.com. You can, of course, hit the Twitch page, twitch.tv/SamusGarobo. You can hit the various Twitters. He's TurtlePower319. I'm Samus Garobo. Of course, you can watch this show live. We've recorded on Wednesdays for the last, 2 months?
Yeah.
You were taking. You can check that out at youtube.com/SamusGarobo if you'd like to watch this show live. I do keep an eye on the chat, which is what I was doing when Travis wanted to know what made the screen look all weird. And that was me popping the chat out. So I do watch the chat. And if you have something, you can always add it there. All right, so put it on. The blue card that I have selected that I don't remember seeing before today is Expel from Ozerka. I don't know how you're going to say that. The Orazca. These Aztec
Or
names.
Raska.
Araska?
Sure.
I don't know. So it's a generic and a blue for an instant. It has a send to return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If you have the city's blessing, you may put that on top of the owner's library instead. So a boomerang.
That's pretty good.
A non-land boomerang that can go on top of the deck if you want. Yeah, I think that card is insanely good.
It is instant?
And it is an instant.
Gross. Is that what rarity is it?
It's an uncommon.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
It is very sick.
I don't like it. I don't want to play against it.
I want to put it on an Isochron Scepter in Modern.
Right. Put that on top. All right, put that on top.
That's right.
All right, you have a bunch of lands, and I know what you're drawing.
Exactly. In black, I picked Dusk Legion Zealot. This is a black and a generic for a Vampire Soldier 1/1. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose 1 life. So this is kind of like the Phyrexian Rager from days old, but instead of costing 3 mana, it costs 2 mana and it's a 1/1.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this.
No, I'm looking forward to putting out in Pauper.
Yeah, I think it's going to be very good. In general things, including, I don't know if I actually added this, but people have asked me to build a Pauper deck again. I don't know if it's going to happen. It could. It might. In red, I have picked Buccaneers Bravado. For a red and a generic, you get an instant where you get to choose one. Target creature gets +1/+1 and first strike until end of turn, or target pirate gets +1/+1 and double strike until end of turn. That seems very good to me.
Yeah, especially in a Rakdos deck.
I mean,
It's doing as long as you hit them.
I mean, there's so many of these really good efficient pirates coming out now in red. Like the red pirates before were kind of on the edge. Like there were some good ones, but now it seems like there's a lot of good ones. Like this Goblin Trailblazer, the 2/1 Menace Goblin Pirate for 2. Where's the 1 mana 1? But you got to reveal a pirate. Daring Buccaneer. So like, there's a lot of really good pirates. Can you like just think about it for a second? Daring Buccaneer. You reveal a pirate, so you play him on 1. You untap. You play another land. You attack, and you hit somebody for 6 on turn 2, if you want, or you just go ahead and play like another like this haste pirate. Like it's just, I don't know. It feels very good. Like I might be red next season. I'm not sure. Let's see. What's the next color? Green. Green was actually the hardest one to pick. Because there were so many good cards, but they were all reprints. So this Cherished Hashling, again, 1 mana and a green for a dinosaur, a 2/1. When it dies, you may cast dinosaur spells for the rest of the turn as if they had flash, as well as the fact they get the into the battlefield trigger of fight another creature.
Yeah.
I think this guy's got a lot of
I like that one. Like, I like that one for late games when you're just kind of like, all right, well, here's my little doofus.
Well, I
Killed
think
my doofus. Everything else is gonna die.
I think this guy's got a lot of potential in like green-black dinosaur decks. They use the enchantment that flips over to let you regrow things from your graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the ability to, like, even if you only get 1 or 2 triggers out of this, like the ability to, like, all right, well, I'm going to sacrifice this to do something cool, and now I'm also going to like make a bunch of dudes, and kill your guys. Like that's got a lot of play to me. Speaking of real quick, while we're talking about green cards, some of the artwork in green is sick, especially for these reprint cards. Hunt the Weak, artwork on the reprint, Hunt the Weak, you're literally inside the mouth of a dinosaur looking down, getting ready to eat something.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is sweet. Naturalize is like a big Brastodon-looking mother trucker stepping on you. Like, that looks sweet. The Plummet is also very interesting. Like, it's clearly a dinosaur, I think, diving down to eat something, but instead getting like wrapped up in vines and pulled into the ground. So like a lot of green cards got reprinted with new artwork that just looked awesome.
So did you happen to see that Hunt the Weak and Lightning Strike? They have 2 people that are related. I don't know if they're siblings or if they're
the artist or
no. In the flavor text.
I know, I did not.
Yeah, so apparently both of those pirates are getting killed by the card that they're on.
By things.
Yeah.
All right. That's cool. No, I did not notice that. I'm not a big flavor text reader most of the time, unless we're playing the flavor text game. And then the last card that I thought was really sweet. This one is a rare, which is, I try not to pick rares generally when I do this kind of stuff. But I don't think it's going to be a very popular rare. Handas, Hadana. Hondans? I don't know, whatever. Their climb is the enchantment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put a 1/1 counter on a target creature you control. Then if that creature has 3 or more 1/1 counters on it, transform it.
Okay.
So it turns over into, obviously, a gold land, makes any color mana, as well as has the ability of pay 1, a green, and a blue. Target creature you control gets flying and +X/+X, where X equals its power.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really like this card a lot.
Well,
Whether or not it
and
gets a lot of play, we'll see.
yeah. Well, and my thing that I've been saying for a while is if there is one thing bigger and dumber than green, it's Simic.
Right. But I mean, a lot of these Simic cards, a lot of the Simic stuff doesn't give evasion, right? Like, oh, you get trample, but you like this thing has flying. Like, whoa, that's good.
Right.
Like, this is one of the cards that I'm really excited to hopefully get at the pre-release. Like, I'd be happy if this is my box rare. It's just, I think, a very good card. And of course, most of the time when I'm looking at cards now, it's for limited. But I think this is a card that if someone has a little bit of imagination, could be a highly sought after rare staple, and possibly even, depending on a couple of decks, could be in some modern lists.
All right. So speaking of imagination, so do you know the modern deck is probably that rare that you will Gristle Horbrand or Gristle Shoal?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so Through the Breach and Goryo's Vengeance, right?
Yep.
So now, what if you take out Gristlebrand and Baborgamos and the one of Emrakul and just replace it with big dumb dinosaurs? Like you get the 4 of Gishath and then like 1 or 2 of each of the Elder Dragons or Elder Dinosaurs.
It's probably okay. The thing that the Gristlebrand does is draws you into the next go.
Yeah, but Gishath will not just draw you into the next go, it will just get you the next thing. All right, well, here's 2 more big dumbasses that you have to deal with.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
I'll proxy it. I'll proxy it and test it against some guys.
Okay. Like I have weird parts of that deck is the reason why I know this deck.
Okay.
So for the longest time I didn't have Gristlebrand's, but I have like Goryo's Vengeance and Through the Breach because I played during that time. But then Gristlebrand's dropped to like $11 a piece or something, and I had a bunch of credit randomly.
Yeah.
So now I have Gristlebrand's. So now the weird things I'm missing is like the draw 2, discard 2 for a red, and
Faithless Looting?
Yeah, the Faithless Looting, and like some of the other weird pieces.
Like the commons. No, don't worry about it. You got the play sets of the $40 cards. You just need the 1 penny cards.
I know. And I'm just like, I'm never gonna buy them. I'm never gonna get there. Like they'll have to get
if you want, I can just take the Goryo's Vengeance and the Through the Breaches off your hands.
Yeah, you and Nathan too. You're not the first person to have suggested that.
Yeah, but you should give them to me because, well, I'm me.
That's true. That's true. I tell you what, you hold your breath until they come in the mail.
Okay.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's fine. All right, everybody. Well, next week we'll probably have a new co-host because Travis is going to die because they're not going to get in the mail.
I can't do it.
Okay, sweet. Sweet, good. Good. I don't want you to croakinate. Oh no, I need to trim my beard.
Well, I don't think that you can necessarily like kill yourself from just holding your breath, because it's an involuntary thing unless you're Kyler.
I don't know.
No,
People used
seriously,
to.
the next time you're at the arena and Kyler is there, you should ask him how his breathing is going.
Okay. He has to think about it to breathe.
He will after you ask him.
Oh, okay. All right, with that, everybody, I think that's a show. Travis,
Troll on.
troll on, everybody.